they did a study by themselves wherein they came to a conclusion that the domestic performance has actually underperformed the overall portfolio, and it's the international securities in our portfolio that has helped us in achieving the returns that we have in the past. Uh, what are your views on this, and how would you improve the domestic performance? A second part to this question is, would you consider having a additional blended benchmark of Nifty 500 and the MSCI ACW index, so that it's more comparable with the fund philosophy of 65% in domestic equities and 35% in global stocks?
So we do the number analysis, and these numbers are reported to trustees on a periodic basis. Last 7 years, the returns from Indian stocks have been higher than returns from global stocks. So that's the first data point to share. It's not the other way around. In the last 1 year, global stocks have done better than the Indian stocks. So if we were to do a poll of our unit holders, which is the top performing stock or which has been the top performing stock for our fund since launch till date, people may name things like Google, Apple, Amazon, or whatever, or HDFC Bank. Actually, it's been Maharashtra Scooters, so which has had a phenomenal run, and one can look up the price history from May of 2013 to whenever we sold off. So actually, the Indian stock returns have been higher. The reason why we don't break it up and discuss this too much is because unnecessarily the focus will go towards should we shift from US to India, should we shift from India to US, whereas you should invest in both the markets. That's been our thing, and one has to look at the whole portfolio in context. Again, a simple way now for investors to look at is, we have a tax saver fund which has no foreign stocks. Tax saver fund returns come only from Indian stocks, and tax saver fund also has done well since inception, with largely the common stocks as compared to the long-term equity fund. And both the Indian component as well as the overseas component have beaten the benchmarks. About hybrid, so firstly the question is what hybrid to take. So should we take MSCI World, should we take MSCI developed markets, because we are not investing in a lot of the emerging markets. Again, Nifty returns, Nifty 500 returns are something which people are quite familiar with, whereas a hybrid artificial benchmark, really people don't track that closely. So people want a comparative as to, if we put in PPFS's multi-cap fund, how are we doing versus, let's say, a passive fund in the multi-cap space or some other multi-caps in the category. So that was the thinking. Again, there are issues around licensing fees for the various hybrid categories, and the weightages themselves keep changing. So right now it's somewhere about 28, 29 weightage in the global stocks. If that weightage were to change to 25 or 20, then how do you readjust the benchmark? So for that reason, it was thought that we can go with a Nifty 500. So it's minimum 65 in Indian equities, which can go up to 100%, and it's up to 35 in global stocks. It's not a fixed 35 in global stocks kind of thing. So that hampers the utility of a hybrid. But let's see, again, if there's a recategorization or something, I don't know. So for now, we are continuing with the current benchmark.
Thank you, Rajiv.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.